If you're gonna be on LinkedIn, do it right. Unfortunately, most people make 5 mistakes on LinkedIn that make them look boring, unprofessional, or just make them invisible. We don't want to be any of those things. So let's dig into what those 5 LinkedIn mistakes are and how to fix them. If you're ready, tap the like button and let's jump into it. The first LinkedIn mistake so many people are making is you're not on there. Sure, you have a profile, but it's kind of like not much going on. In fact, you probably don't even remember the last time that you logged into LinkedIn. Let me know in the comments if that's you or if you are a regular LinkedIn user. If you're like most people, you tend not to use LinkedIn too much unless you are actively in a job search or you're trying to sell something. The problem with this is that LinkedIn is actually a crucial part of your personal brand strategy. Whether you want a promotion, a new job, either right now or at some point in the future, perhaps you just enjoy the flattery of having recruiters sliding into your DMs, or maybe you want to start a side hustle. This is where you can market yourself easily and for free. And I know that you want to do that, and we're going to come back to how to do it in just a few minutes. But first, we need to talk about the second LinkedIn mistake so many people are making. And if you make this mistake, I can assure you, you will stay invisible. That LinkedIn mistake is your profile is blank. Want to know who this person is? They're a ghost. Do they even exist? When your profile is blank, you are missing out on job opportunities, low-key flexes on your awesomeness, potential clients if that's your thing, and much more. Now, there's a few key areas that I really want you to fix. First of all, make sure you have a profile picture. Just adding a profile picture alone can drive 14 times more views to your LinkedIn profile. Of course, you want to make it a good one. I do have a short video with some tips I'll link in the description bar. But in short, you want something a little bit more like this and not so much like this. Of course, your LinkedIn profile is so much more than your profile picture. So there's a few more things for us to fill in. If you're like most people, you're using the dull default LinkedIn headline of job title plus company. You can easily swap this one out for something that is intriguing AF and keyword optimized, making you more findable by the people that you want to find you. Then there is one of the most dreaded sections, which fills so many people with fear that they leave it blank, or it's an awkward tiny blurb, often written in the third person. And that's your about section. Jennifer Brick is a New York City-based learning professional. Yeah, at one point that was mine. So awkward. Use your about section to show who you are. Tell the story of your career and why you are so awesome. And while you're at it, update your experience section to make sure that for the jobs that you've had, that you are flexing on your achievements and your UAQ. And while you're doing all this, skills are really important on LinkedIn because skills equals keywords. And having the right ones in your skill section and sprinkled throughout your profile is really going to help recruiters find you and slide into your DMs. Now, I know I just went through a whole bunch of things and it's kind of overwhelming and it sounds really complicated, but I promise you it's not. That said, if you want me to walk you through it step by step, I do have a workshop this weekend that is going to be live where we're going to do just that and leave you with an ace LinkedIn strategy. The link is in the description bar in case you want to check it out. However, your LinkedIn presence is more than just your LinkedIn profile. And this brings us to the third mistake that so many people are making, and it kind of misses the entire point of LinkedIn. And that mistake is you're not using LinkedIn to network. Especially in the modern world where so many of us are still living online most of the time, it's a great place to meet new people, especially for introverts like me. You have the safety of the screen. In my opinion, LinkedIn is the best place to bump elbows with the people that should know you. You can use LinkedIn to get on your boss's boss radar. Meet people who work at your dream company who can maybe become friends and refer you for a job. Or just to expand your circle in your industry so that you can continue to learn and grow as a professional. The point is, LinkedIn is a professional social network. Use it to build and maintain your network. How do you do that? You talk to them, comment on their posts, get into the DMs of former colleagues just to see how they're doing. In fact, if you take 2 minutes every day just to send a DM or connect with someone new on LinkedIn, you are going to see a huge payoff. Trust me, you do that every day for 6 months and you are going to have an unstoppable success squad that is going to help you achieve your career goals. And it avoids the worst mistake that people make on LinkedIn, which is connecting without connecting. Each LinkedIn profile is a real human. Now, when you do that, you need to be very aware of the fourth LinkedIn mistake that I've unfortunately seen a lot of people make, especially in the last few months. And that LinkedIn mistake is not keeping it LinkedIn appropriate. Now, I'm not really one of those people that's like, LinkedIn isn't Facebook. But if you wouldn't or shouldn't talk about something in a professional setting, do not talk about it on LinkedIn. Remember, whether it's a post that you make or a comment that you make on someone else's post, your network can see it. Things like personal matters that you don't want your coworkers to know about, or engaging in political conversation. These are things that can make you look really unprofessional and catch up to you at work. I've really seen people crash and burn their professional reputation by taking those taboo topics and integrating it with their professional brand by talking about it on LinkedIn. And the truth is, most people don't even want to have those conversations in a professional setting. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't think you should ever share anything that is remotely personal. In fact, if you follow me on LinkedIn, you know that I get quite personal in my posts over there. Like the time I publicly broadcast my panic attack while I was having it. But before you make a post or you leave a comment, ask yourself this question. Do I want my boss to know this about me? Or would I want a recruiter to see this? Or my favorite question, would this help my career if my CEO saw this? Ultimately, I'm a mom, but I'm not your mom, and you are going to make your own decisions. And I want to acknowledge that there is a range of what's acceptable based on your industry, and that ultimately this needs to be what you are comfortable with. If the answer to any or all of those questions are no, you probably shouldn't put it on LinkedIn. And just an FYI, me talking about my anxiety over there has been super deliberate, and I don't have a boss to worry about, so I get to be really spicy in my posts if I want to be. Now, that said, I don't want you to take this too far and only have like robotic and stiff conversations like you're having a conversation wearing a suit or something. Because the fifth mistake that people make on LinkedIn is that they're not themselves. And I know LinkedIn is professional at work, blah, 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 and I just told you to keep it LinkedIn appropriate. But are you boring at work? Stiff and stuffy? Or do you have the odd laugh, crack the odd joke? Ultimately, your personal brand includes your personality. And that's one of the most awesome things about you. And it makes you stand out on LinkedIn. So while we want to keep things appropriate, don't be afraid to show the world who you are. Show off your sparkling personality in your profile, on your newsfeed, and in any post that you choose to make on LinkedIn. Again, if you need help doing it, that workshop is coming up. However, if you're just getting started with being intentional about your personal brand, I want you to go and check out this video. But before you go, if you enjoyed this video, if it helped you, give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel, makes you my favorite career bestie. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing while you're there. As always, my friend, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.